Lesson 3. Sleep, define, and comments. To start off, open KISS-C 2.4.0. Select CBC2 and press cancel. Now we're going to press new, but this time we're going to keep this screen. The lines in green are called comments, and what these do is basically for your reference, and the compiler ignores them. I'll give you here. Okay, and now we're going to learn about defines. I always recommend that you keep this here, but for the first 2 lessons we took it out just to make the code simpler for you to understand. Now, in defines and constants, we're going to type number define, and then let's say yep equals 3. Okay, now we're going to do another number define. Okay, is yep backwards, and that's -3. Alright, and we're going to put comments here. Lines yep as 3. And in here we're going to put defines pay as -3. Compile that and save it as lesson 3. Okay, and as you can see, the compile succeeds, but it's not really going to do anything. Now we can type in printf, which is what we learned in the other ones. Okay, and alright, now we can do a %d, %d, and we can show the value yep, comma pay, %d. Now these act pretty much as variables, but the thing that's different about them is that they work on a global scope, which means they work throughout the entire program. And we'll go on that later. We'll talk about that later. And they so in motor commands where you input the speed or the distance, you can just put that there and then change these values and not have to go through every single motor command or servo command and type in 3 or -3. Now we're going to do this and do that, and you see it prints the value 3 and then -3. Now I'm going to teach you about sleep. Okay? Sleep is widely used also by many programmers in KISS-C, and you will probably use it very much too. Sleep basically it's basically self-explanatory. It makes it sleep. And the thing is, if it's doing a process while it's sleeping, it carries on with that process. So a servo command, you'd put move to a position and then sleep, and it does it in that amount of sleep time. But you can also use sleep as just like kind of pause for a certain amount of time, and we'll do sleep for 2 seconds just so that you can see how it works. And we're going to do printf %d, and then we're going to go pay. Okay, compile that, and succeeded. Now simulate it. There, and it says 3, it waits 2 seconds, and then exports the value -3. And we could put a \n in there if you wanted to, but just because for time we're not going to. And this concludes the lesson. Oh wait, one more thing. I cannot stress on this enough. I always see programmers doing this, and it's very unorganized. Keep your code as organized as possible. All right, put comments after every 3 lines of codes just to keep it so that you know what it's doing. What I like to say is if you're doing printf, because what's in red is clearly visible, you don't really have to put comments behind that, but it's still a really good idea just to put comments throughout your entire program. This concludes the lesson.